Hi guys, this is Watch the Binge, and today we're back with a top 10 list of the best series for all of those Never Have I Ever fans out there. Before we get into it, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. By doing this, you're helping us to create more videos just like this one. Netflix's Never Have I Ever won over a lot of people with season 1. While a series about the struggles of being a teenager is not a new idea, the show figures out how to explore it in unique ways while also touching on things like religion and tragedy. Season 2 recently hit Netflix, but for those who binged it too fast and now need another show, there is plenty to recommend. These other great shows deal with the same subject matter, touch on similar themes, or maybe just share a relatable tone, but they should all tempt fans of Never Have I Ever. Number 10. The Mindy Project. For anyone who has watched The Mindy Project, it is probably no surprise that the show's star and creator, Mindy Kaling, serves as a producer on Never Have I Ever. Though they don't seem very similar on the surface, there is shared humor and tone in both series. The Mindy Project follows Mindy, a young doctor in New York City, balancing her career, love life, and her own personal quirks. Again, it might sound like the kind of show fans have seen many times, but the characters and humor are what make it special. Number 9. Everybody Hates Chris. The narration from tennis superstar John McEnroe is one of the most charming things about Never Have I Ever. While such in-your-face narration can be annoying or distracting, it works in this show as well as in the underrated sitcom Everybody Hates Chris. The show is loosely based on the childhood of comedian Chris Rock, who also serves as narrator. It follows the young Chris as he tries to survive high school while being the only black kid in his school. It is the kind of ostracizing dilemma faced by Davey in the Netflix show. Number 8. Freaks and Geeks. With so many shows about being in high school, it takes a really unique approach to make it feel worthwhile. Freaks and Geeks achieved this by focusing on the kind of real high school kids that other shows didn't want to address. Though it was cancelled after a single season, it became iconic. The series follows a girl named Lindsay who finds herself looking for a new path and begins hanging out with a group of unambitious, pot-smoking, and rebellious friends. In many ways, Davey and Lindsay's journeys of self-discovery feel very similar. Number 7. Jane the Virgin. Davey is forced to deal with a strict household while also trying to become more mature and experience what she thinks is typical teenage behavior. The lead character on Jane the Virgin is sort of thrust into the life of maturity after being impregnated by accident. Despite the improbable plot, Jane the Virgin tells an interesting story of a young woman dealing with a major life change that causes people to look at her differently. And while it focuses on this main character's journey, Jane the Virgin has many fun characters who bring the show to life. Number 6. Rami. Never Have I Ever is another show that offers a more diverse comedy series than what fans might typically find. Though it deals with high school and teen anxiety, it also has some interesting things to say about religion, specifically Davey's conflicted feelings about her Hindu upbringing. Rami is another great dramedy that deals with that subject more head-on. It follows a young Muslim man struggling to follow the teachings of his religion while also dealing with a lot of ignorance towards it. Number 5. Awkward. In the first episode of Never Have I Ever, fans learned that Devi recently became the subject of fascination in her school for all the wrong reasons. After facing a personal tragedy, she loses the use of her legs, only to regain them and no longer need a wheelchair. Devi's desire to escape that reputation feels very similar to the dilemma faced by the main character in Awkward. That series begins with Jenna suffering an embarrassing accident, which leads to a lot of misconceptions about her in her school. Jenna also faces the same kind of awkward and romantic situations that Devi does. Number 4. I Am Not Okay With This. Despite being a comedy, Never Have I Ever deals with a lot of tragedy as Devi and her family are dealing with the sudden death of her father, an event that took place before the events of the series. This is the same tragedy that Sydney is dealing with in I Am Not Okay With This. The recent death of her father weighs on the young teen as she deals with high school, relationships, and the superpowers she has just learned she possesses. Number 3. On My Block. Another Netflix series that deals with struggles inside and outside of high school is On My Block. This is an excellent show that can be both funny and heartbreaking in the way Never Have I Ever is so effective at pulling off. The coming-of-age story follows a group of friends who deal with the fear of entering high school while also trying to get one of their friends out of a dangerous gang. Number 2. Derry Girls. While Never Have I Ever deals with romantic relationships and family, it's also a story about friendship. The bond shared between Devi and her best friends, Fabiola and Eleanor, is sweet and funny, even with more than a few bumps along the way. Meanwhile, Derry Girls is another fantastic show about the strong yet dysfunctional friendship of high school girls. Set in a small Irish town, it follows a group of friends who struggle to find dates, become popular, and escape their dull lives while often finding themselves in trouble. Number 1. Sex Education. If there is one Netflix show that really is competing with Never Have I Ever as the most charming high school comedy, it is Sex Education. Both of these shows explore young high school characters coming to grips with their sexuality and all the complications that it brings. Sex Education deals with a lot of difficult and complex subject matter, but does so through charming characters and a great sense of humor. It's no wonder fans are so eager for Season 3 of Sex Education to arrive. Well, that was it for today. Which series are you gonna watch next? Let us know in the comments. If you liked the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We'll be back later this week with more exclusive content.